Our next story takes us up there and over a bit to Hull, and we're going to hear from Billy Dasein from East Marsh United, a story we only heard about recently, and we're about as excited as you're going to be once you've heard it. And hopefully once you've heard it, you'll feel inspired to support their work through their crowdfunder, which is still open for investment. Billy, over to you.
Hey everybody, this is a story about East Marsh United. Now, we are East Martians, but it's not this one. Even if, at times, some people do relate to us as if it were. No, it's this one. So this is Rutland Street on the East Marsh of Grimsby, and it was an actual marsh, a wetland, next to Grimsby Docks. That's Grimsby, not Hull. That was drained to build houses and service the fishing industry in the 19th century. So at this point in 1962, the fishing was in its prime, and that little boy, me, has some adventures ahead. However, the fishing went away in the 70s and the heart just fell out of the East Marsh, and things deteriorated until it came to a head in 2017. And this was across about 2 months in the summer of 2017 in the paper, on the local news and so on. And some of us realized actually that nobody was coming to help. So we decided we'd do it. We literally went out with bin bags and brushes on a Saturday morning and cleaned first one street, then another for a couple of years. And much more importantly, we sat together for 2 hours every Thursday evening, working out what was wrong and how we could change it. So you will all know the problems caused directly by poverty. They're well known to you all. So it's poor education, poor healthcare, filthy streets, houses with often inhuman living conditions, and a lack of agency and a lack of hope. So scrolling forward 5 years, these are some of our solutions. So we've got, on the one hand, community engagement. On the other hand, bigger projects to do with community infrastructure. So there's community arts, outreach, education, health, well-being. We're looking at East Marsh Village Hall, regenerating the street architecture, and also looking at community wealth building projects as well. So a little bit more detail there about the East Marsh Village Hall, because we want to rethink our neighbourhood as an urban village. And this is our architect's drawing for the East Marsh Village Hall, opposite our much neglected park. So we've also got a Friends of the Park group. And this is an impression of how Rutland Street might look, courtesy of our friends at Create Streets. So we're working with them to change the street architecture. But our big intractable problem is that we are precarious. We've got these plans, born of experience. We've got fantastic and supportive people, our team, volunteers, friends, partners. But we don't know really how we can sustain ourselves over time. How do we fund all this? Publicly available money has difficulty, time and energy sapping, bid writing, the frustrations of not landing bids. I'm sure a lot of you know all about this. And ultimately, you know, a change in government policy, that's it. The funding environment that you know disappears. So we think this is bonkers and we're done with it, really. So we want to find an independent and sustainable revenue stream, which brings us to our, thank you, which brings us to our currently open community share offer. So what we want to do, we've bought 3 houses already. We've got 3 young families living in them. If we reach our target, we've actually got 19 days left, and it's just gone up by £3,000 as well, which is fantastic. So we keep pushing. This will get us 10 more houses. But what we really want to do, so this will be our 10 homes where we've got a caring, ethical, social landlord. But what we really want to do is get 100 houses, which will give us about £150,000 for our community group every year, guaranteed, so we can pay for these core operations and not fall over. 100 years, this is about a plan for a sustainable and caring community infrastructure that lasts many generations, 100 years. Wouldn't it be great to know that our children's children's children can play a full part in a self-sustaining, independent and dignified community that manages its own pathways to human flourishing?